Hi Libra, welcome to your May 2020 Tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website addressed below. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's see what May 2020 has in store for you, my dear Librans. So for your actions and interactions with the world at large over the course of May, you get... All right, so you've got the Eight of Swords. Now, this is interesting because as we saw with your first weekly for May as well, we did see that, you know, things are going to be, I think it's probably you and Gemini have the most challenging first week of the month. But your Eight of Swords is about constriction and confinement, right? This is about what holds you back or holds you bound in some way. And, you know, I've said this before, like, even though it's not the Nine of Swords, the worst prison that you can ever be held in this life is your own mind. Sometimes it has the power to really amplify the things that you go through or the things that you experience. Now, because this is in your actions and interactions with the world at large, this feels for me like this month you are compartmentalizing. So this is actually one of the times where you see the Eight of Swords, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means that this month you're going to go through the process of putting everything in its right, correct place. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we need to compartmentalize stuff so that we can get through our days, so that we can get through our month. And it looks like what you're doing with this Eight of Swords energy is saying to yourself, right, okay, you know what, I'm going to exercise patience and control over myself. And that way you're going to, it's almost like you're saying to yourself, you know what, the only thing that I can control in any situation is myself. So I'm going to exercise that control over myself, and I'm going to get myself through this month. So interesting message, really interesting message. The other thing is as well, the Eight of Swords, believe it or not, actually speaks about liberation, because there's the reminder that you are in control, that you have the power or the keys that you need in order to free yourself from something. Now, what I love most about that is this is in your actions and interactions with the world at large, right? So this is about what you're doing. So it's not just about you compartmentalizing everything, it's about you saying, right, where can I gain more freedom? Where can I free myself or liberate myself, Libra, right, from a certain situation? For your money and materials, you have the Six of Cups. What a gorgeous energy when it comes to money, materials, and finances. So when it comes to your money and materials, it looks like you are reaching some sort of culmination point with a project this month. And this is something that will bring you direct financial results. Your Six of Cups is not just always about happy memories. It's about something that you have dreamt into being, seeing its fruition. And this tells me that something in terms of your finances, in terms of your money, maybe a project, maybe a job that you've been working on is now going to start yielding some results, or something comes full circle and it gives your finances a boost over the course of this month. When it comes to your home, there is harmony, there is balance. The home life looks good, which is great. Remember, your money and materials isn't just about your finances, it's about your home, it's about your health. When it comes to your health as well, it does look like a lot of you are finding that sweet spot that Libras absolutely love, which is called equilibrium, right? Your ruler is currently in Gemini. So this is a great time for you to think about, you know, really putting pedal to the metal when it comes to anything that is to do with jobs, to do with skills, maybe the acquisition of skills or something like that. This could see you really making a lot of headway in those sectors or arenas of your life, which is very exciting. For your communications and conversations, you have the Holly King, which is actually the Hermit card. So this is about exercising wisdom. Now look at this, because you've got the Hermit card here, and you've also over here in your actions and interactions, you've got the Eight of Swords. So we see you compartmentalizing something. So it looks like maybe something that you're working on isn't for all ears at this moment in time. Maybe something that you're nearing the completion date on isn't ready to be displayed yet. The Hermit card says that you are not really willing to share what you're working on at the moment, what you're ready to culminate, what you're ready to bring into its sort of fruition point. You're not ready at the moment to share this with people. Now, what I love most about this for you is your hermit card it really is about exercising that wisdom. Sometimes it's knowing what to say and when to say it, and sometimes it's knowing when to say nothing at all. And because you've got that 8 of Swords there, I kind of feel like this month compartmentalizing things is the right way for you to go. There are things that you are working on that are not to be shared at the moment. That doesn't mean you can't share them with the world eventually. It just means that now is not quite the right time. Especially for some of you, it does look like there's going to be either some sort of wisdom or knowledge that is gained that not everybody is privy to. It may very well be that something that you're gaining, maybe even some sort of blessing or abundance sort of based, something is making its way into your life. And it's kind of like, the usual instinct would be, share it with everybody. And this month, it's kind of like you're holding back. There's this feeling of you kind of saying, no, you know what? I need to keep quiet about this. Not because anything's untoward or underhand, but sometimes, the best way to welcome a blessing in is to do it, is to observe it quietly. For your heart and half sector, you have the 6 of Pentacles. It's funny because when I saw the six of Cups, I was like, I wonder if this is going to be close behind, and here it is. For your heart and half sector, so here in your relationships, right, in your close one-on-ones and all of the rest of it, you got the 6 of Pentacles. So there's a couple of things. You got 2 6s here, right? 6s are always about responsibility. They are about the material world. They're about your home, your physical dwelling. 6s are a number of harmony. They seek to balance things out, just like Libra, right? So this is an interesting card for you because the 6 of Pentacles has a very Libran vibe about it. So when it comes to relationships this month, this is what you're seeking to do. It's about you really trying to bring not only your harmony and your diplomacy into your relationships, but it sees you seeking to balance a specific relationship. Now, a lot of you are probably thinking, come on, Raf, say the magic words. Which relationship are we talking about? Because it falls next to the Holly King, this is very likely to be, if your partner is a lot older than you, maybe like there's a, 8+ year age gap, it could be a partner, but other than that, this could be with a parent, or it could be with a grandparent. Maybe it could even be with a boss or somebody that is in a position of authority, but it's very likely to be a relationship between you and somebody that is what I would call a lot older than you. Not that I've got, I've dated people that are 10 years older than me, so, don't... so that, I'm not even going to get into that debate because it will just create so much. But yeah, on a family level, it does look like as well there's some sort of relationship that you are trying to mend. So it may be that if you are the parent between you and a child, it does look like your relationship is now going to start to harmonize. What this actually looks like, though, is both of you being able to take responsibility for the stuff that is yours and say, look, you know what, everything else is a projection. That's the thing about Libran energy as well. It's that balance point where you understand that actually, you know what, the reason I'm behaving this way is because of how I feel. This is what you've done that I am not okay with, not happy with, or doesn't sit right with me, but the rest of it is mine, right? It's being able to admit that. That's the mark of a healthy relationship, and it's also the mark of just a healthy bloody human being. All right? Your first week of the month, you have the Death card right underneath the 8 of Swords. So the reason you are compartmentalizing this month is because you are gearing up to make a lot of cuts and changes. There are a lot of things that are about to come to an end for you guys, but this isn't about sort of everything deciding to leave me in my life. This is about you being conscious and saying, look, you know what, 8 of Swords, I'm going to make the conscious decision to free myself from things that no longer serve me. I'm going to let them go or let them perish. Whenever you see the Death card, remember you're very often faced with a choice to let something go. Your second week of the month, you've got the Chariot card. a project comes full circle. When it comes to your work, when it comes to your finances, when it comes to maybe a side hustle or a business or something like that, something that you've been doing that you were hoping for a dividend or a payout from, this month you will see a result from it, and it will be quite a tasty one. It falls right underneath the Six of Cups. Now, this has given me a much clearer picture on the rest of the stuff that's come out. It may very well be, you know, because Librans are very kind as well, but you do sometimes, I'm sorry to say, have a tendency to throw money at things, you know, and that's not always the best way to do stuff. So it does look like, you know, whoever it is that's around you that you're trying to mend with, maybe they've cottoned onto that and they know how to tug or press the right buttons for you to assume responsibility and start shelling out. Maybe that's why you're keeping this quiet. All right, for your third week of the month, you've got the Star card underneath the Holly King, right? Or underneath the Hermit card, which is great. It does look like some of you are going on a social media cleanse this month. The Hermit card, withdrawal from the world, not speaking, not sharing. The Star card, the internet, the wider world stage. It does look like many of you this month will be saying, probably around this third week of the month, you know what? I'm going to take a break from it all. And trust me, if I didn't need the internet for my work, I would have done it weeks ago, just because of a lot of the stuff that's floating around out there. But it does look like you guys will be taking a break from it very, well, I say very soon, at least for about a week, and that will be around the middle of May. Your Judgment card in the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, right. So this is not only the mending of a rift, but the approach. This is about you broaching some of the more difficult subjects with a certain person in your life. It's very likely, because the Judgment card is Pluto, and so therefore, you know, older things, deeper things. It does feel for me like this is a relationship with an older person in your life, whether this is a partner, a parent, you know, a friend, maybe a boss. Maybe you are the older person. It does look like you're able to mend that rift this month, but it is going to take a lot of honesty, and it may bring up some stuff that you had either forgotten, or maybe stuff from the past that you haven't forgotten. You know, either which way, there's going to be stuff coming up this month that and conversations in relationships, you know, personal, professional, familial, all of the above, or any one of them. You know, it does look like this month you are going to be having some of those tougher conversations, which is good, because that's the only way you can really do the Death card, right? Is to really allow it to come up and say, right, okay, I acknowledge that. How do we move forward from it? Your key to the month, you've got the Five of Pentacles. This, if I'm completely honest with you, I don't feel like this is your key to the month, because don't forget, look at behind them, right? So yes, they're in financial ruin, they've had an accident and are probably laid up because they can't work or whatever. Current climate and crisis, of course, you know, notwithstanding. But in the background, look at that, there's the church, or there's the sanctuary. It's not necessarily a church. You know, there's a sanctuary. So this kind of represents that within the challenges this month is going to be the salvation, and a big part of it, Libra, is going to be you learning to put yourself first, and also exercise the power of a really good no. You know, even if somebody says to you, well, you know, I know you've just got A, B and C, you know, why can't you help me out? Well, because I usually do that, and unfortunately this time I'm putting my foot down to say no. Going to be an interesting month for you guys. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Take care, and I'll see you soon.